Hello dear friends, let's talk about problems of Peugeot 407. The used Peugeot 407 is so striking that if you are looking for a conventional car to drown yourself in, you are in the wrong test. You will hardly mix this or any of the newer Peugeot with any other manufacturer. There is plenty of room in the cabin, though because of the rare design, the tallest ones will have less headroom. Our impression is that there are too many buttons on the dashboard, though the owners say that the habituation period is very short. As this is a family cruiser, the freeway is the place to get the best of it, though quick turns won't bring you too much pleasure because of the lack of steering feel. Still, nonchalant driving and cruising are the conditions this car was made for. The ride is comfortable, the cabin quiet at an enviable level. There are minor problems in the city, as this is not the most transparent car in the world, and driving at lower speeds can be a trick, especially on our roads. Cabin space offerings and trim levels are really great, so you can go cheaper by buying basic models. Peugeot is known for safety, so this model is well equipped with all security devices in the basic version. 4 gasoline and 4 diesel on offer. If you really need gasoline, the options are as follows. The smallest, with a volume of 1.8 liters, is solid, but it has to drive a lot of gas, so the consumption is quite high, while 2.0 in our opinion is the best choice. For the slightly larger 2.2 liter petrol, registration is quite expensive, while the 3.0 V6 is a great but extreme consumer. Our advice is great HDI diesel, although they are more expensive at first. We would avoid the smallest, 1.6, which is trying hard, but in the fight with the mass, you are constantly under the impression that you lack some strength. A better choice is the 2.0 or 2.2 engine. The average consumption according to the factory is about 5 liters of Euro diesel, which is fantastic if it is feasible in real terms. Only the largest 2.7 V6 HDI should go wide as maintenance costs are quite high. If you decide on diesel, which you should, beware of excessive exhaust smoke. This is a sign that EGR valve clogged, and there may be a problem with the nozzles, especially with our diesel quality. Although in the event of such problems, the engine will run much noisier in the back and at high RPM, so cover your ears well. The problems with the turbocharger that are never cheap to repair are also unknown. 1.6 HDI with 110 horsepower, there are problems with lubrication, which is disaster, especially if the oil is changed for a longer interval of 10,000 kilometers. The solution is to, with the oil change at 10,000 kilometers, of course completely synthetic, together with the filter, clean the sieve under the oil pump at 30,000 kilometers. Otherwise, a flow of oil is blocked due to the deposition of tar, so first the turbocharger is damaged, then the engine. Since you can't know how the engine is treated, it's better to avoid it. In the case of this car, we do not recommend any purchase unless you are X% sure that it has been regularly maintained and the parts fitted are genuine. It might be best if you find a fleet of specimens which, although quite long gone, is regularly maintained and has a known service history. The Peugeot 407 is rarely well-made car, so if the cabin has too many crickets or some parts appear to be not well assembled and protruding, make sure it is not damaged in the collision. Models older than 2008 had problems with the under-insulated wiring of the center display on the console. Specifically, the high temperature generated behind the center section of the console led to the insulator melting and short circuits forming on the power lines, which prevented the normal operation of the display. The only way to repair the damage is to completely replace and display and wiring. DECRA reports also mention problems with sensitive suspension, which is especially pronounced when driving on uneven roads and with models older than 5 years. Therefore, special care should be taken when buying a used car. So, an inspection on the crane is required, and then with the suspension the condition of the floor, especially the seals and the interior of the fenders, the front brake discs and exhaust systems. According to that, it can be assessed how the car was driven and if it was maintained. DECRA also cites problems with gearboxes. And finally, if the engine is booted by cheap tuning, cancel the purchase immediately. PSA 4 diesels find this hard to bear. Advantages: Peugeot 407. Good styling, strong diesel engines, plenty of space on the back seat, good V6 engine at coupe. The Caravan is comfortable even on longer journeys. Main Peugeot 407. Only comes as a sedan, no hatchback model. Oil leaks, disc brakes consumption. Front axle joint failures. Engine electronics perishable. Engine starter failures, gearboxes and clutches. The materials in the interior could be of better quality. Poor gear changes. Small trunk. Low roof. Too many buttons on the center console. The wagon version is not very nice. Low luggage compartment volume in competition with competitors. Pretty bad automatic transmission. The coupe version is not very fun to drive. Competitors look better: Citroën C4, Ford Mondeo. Peugeot has been recalled 14 times and has had the most problems with the brake pump. Peugeot 407 was first recalled on 11 April 2005 years. A factory fault was observed on the fuel lines that leaked the diesel fuel. 2,573 diesel cars were recalled and 206 and 307 were recalled as well. The recall is registered under the code RED 2005-047. The second recall of November 2005 included 8,615 Peugeot 407. The cars were recalled due to a software error. Specifically, the software sent a signal to the electric motor, which started the engine even without a key in the lock. If the car was in gear, it would start moving. The repairers resolved the problem by installing new software, and the recall was registered with the code RED 2005-164. In February 2006, 319 copies of the Peugeot 407 were recalled. All of the recalled copies were computer errors that did not interrupt the fuel supply onto the injectors. The injectors constantly pumped fuel into the cylinder, which had too much fuel in them. The engine could not be started, and the software error was corrected on the recalled instances. The recall is registered with number R 2006-040. In mid-2006, 635 copies of the Peugeot 407 Coupe and Peugeot 607 were revoked. The problem was solved by the installation of the new software, and the recall was registered with the code R2006-104. In November 2006, 115 specimens of the Peugeot 407 were recalled. The problem was once again expressed on diesel models. Specifically, the fuel lines close to the pressure sensor were too narrow, which prevented the usual supply of fuel to the system. Moreover, fuel also leaked at the conduit assemblies. Inadequate conductors were replaced on the recalled specimens, and the recall was registered under code R2006-213. 45 Peugeot 407 and Peugeot 607 were recalled on 24th January 2007 years. On the recalled specimens, the fuel pump was not adequately positioned, which strained the fuel lines and caused the fuel to leak. On recalled specimens, the pump and the conductors are positioned in the appropriate position. The recall is registered with code R2007-014. In the second month of 2007, 896 Peugeot 407s produced from February 15, 2006, 31 August 2006 were recalled until 2007 years. The recalled models had a problem with the electric motor of the cooling system fan that overheated and thus could cause a fire under the hood. The engine has been replaced on all recalled models. The revocation was registered with the code R039XNUMX. In February 2008, 19,867 specimens of Peugeot 307, 407, 607, 807, and Expert 3 were recalled, which were manufactured as of July 1st, 2005, 31st December 2006 until 2008 years. The problem was pronounced on the brake vacuum pump and was manifested through greater brake pedal resistance and reduced brake efficiency. On all recall specimens, the vacuum pump was completely replaced. The recall is registered with code R015XNUMX. In February 2008, an additional 1,140 copies of the Peugeot 407 were recalled due to brake oil leaking from the system. Oil was leaking at the valve of the brake servo unit, thereby reducing the braking force. On the recalled specimens, the valve on the brake servo was replaced. The recall is registered under code R2008-035. In mid-2008, 7,360 models of Model 207, 307, 407, 308, and Partner, manufactured as of February 27, 2008, 9th June 2008 were recalled until 2000 years. Peugeot ordered all services to replace the computer case that controls the operation of all electronic systems in the car. Namely, the housing was not made to the proper specification, which led to the failure of accessories. The recall is registered under code R094XNUMX. In July 2007, Peugeot recalled 2,323 models of the 407, 607, 807, and 4007. Diesel fuel lines were not properly secured. The vibration caused damage to the fuel lines which emitted diesel fuel. On the recalled specimens, the conductors are fixed and the damaged parts are replaced. The recall is registered under code R 2008-106. In October 2010, 1,186 specimens of the Peugeot 407 and Peugeot 607 produced as of March 1st, 2004, 31 May 2007 were recalled until 2009. The brake pump maintained low pressure in the brake system, which reduced the efficiency of the brakes. The repairers repaired the error on all recalled copies, and the recall was registered with the code R120XNUM-X. 510 copies of the Peugeot 407 were recalled at the end of October 2010. The problem was caused by a poor handbrake lever that was detaching from the parking brake cable. Specimens with a chassis number of VF3 AL001133 do VF3 AL009536 and a fuel handbrake lever is fitted on each specimen. The recall is registered with code R 2010-163. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, and if you're the owner of this car, then share your experience. It will help others to choose a car. Goodbye.